Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between. Are we all? What's the weather doing where you are? We've got Dash the dog. George is here. We'll have a little chat, and then we'll get our guest in shortly. Once we've got Jamie in.
If he was actually in.
Which will turn up at some point. How's your day been, George?
5 hours later. Alright.
Yeah. Is it raining lots?
Yes, of course it has. It's been raining at work.
Has indeed. There's Jamie.
Oh. We'll turn up late, crew.
I went late.
Instagram's just slow.
No, I was on my front page and I just kept refreshing. You just didn't pop up. So I had to go into your page and then press it and then it found me. It's weird. Sometimes it works really well and other times it doesn't.
Yeah, it's temperamental.
It's blooming Instagram, that's what it is.
It is indeed.
And I still haven't got my phone holder.
Oh no, it's still leaning.
So I'm using a
sellotape.
it hasn't got much adjustment.
Just tape the phone to it.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea. Hi, Joe.
Like this.
Did you have frost this morning?
Yeah, very mild one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. You didn't have anything?
No.
It was like when I went out to the car was frosty, but as soon as I wiped it with the window wipers, it went off. It
Dad,
wasn't.
Right.
never said high tech.
That's more of a air frost than a ground frost.
Yeah, it wasn't severe enough to like knock the plants either. Like all the not peonies, dahlias.
Peonies.
All the dahlias are still fine.
Peonies.
It's because the person that's on tonight is a peony farmer.
Yes. Joe just said nice slippers. I guess she must mean my slippers, Joe. Did you just see him as I flipped the camera around?
Joe's had a hard frost. Just that little further south.
Yeah, so she's probably about 35 miles away from me.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
35 miles makes all the difference.
Yeah. And to be honest, when I was driving to work, certain areas on my way to work, some places there was frosty verges, whereas at home we didn't have like a ground frost. So just little pockets.
Dahlia's blackened there. Oops.
Where's Caroline's down in Devon? I think. Devon, Cornwall area.
Further south than us, anyway.
Yeah,
Dad,
which is surprising.
Dad, Mummy found this place where you can stay in a bus, like it's an old bus, and they've turned it, and it's in Cornwall, and they've turned it into a holiday home, but it's a bus.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and the beds, the double bunk, the like king bed, the small beds come out onto yeah.
That's funny.
But the only thing that would make me not happy, Dad, which wouldn't why we wouldn't go to it, is because it doesn't have a TV.
No TV.
Off grid.
Off grid, no TV for you, so you don't.
No TV, no phone signals, no Wi-Fi.
Holiday home's not a holiday home without a TV.
It is if you don't want to watch TV.
A holiday should be something different from what the norm is. So,
Yep. Okay.
If you watch TV at home, George, you shouldn't watch it on holiday.
Do something different. Right, you've got a long garden, in fact.
Yep, I know.
Which you researched yourself.
Oh, good. That's what we want.
Come down here then, because otherwise we can't see you.
Decorative garden were first created in Egypt in 500,
1500
BC before this gardens were used purely practical
What's this word?
for practical purposes such as growing food. The first greenhouse was made in Rome 30 AD when an emperor requested he ate a cucumber every day.
So the first people to have decorative gardens were the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly 4,000 years ago.
No, because Jesus wasn't even born then.
Yeah, that was 1,500 years before Jesus was born.
I think Jesus was born like 2,000 years ago.
So they had to go nearly
2 million years ago or something.
No, 1,000.
2,000 to 2,025 years ago.
Yeah. And they went over 1,500 years without a greenhouse.
Yeah. Awesome. 30 AD, the greenhouse.
I wonder what that looked like. If it wasn't made out of polycarbonate.
Yeah, did they even have glass back then?
No, they didn't even have glass. All it was basically like...
Well, they must have had glass, otherwise it wouldn't be a greenhouse.
Well, it wouldn't be glass, but it would be like... They would have just had poles and then like glass stuck to it or something.
That's what you'll have to do for next week, George. You'll have to find out what the
what it was made of.
Greenhouse looked like.
Okay. Well,
What it was
we
like,
can't
what it was
draw
made
a
of.
picture on there, can we?
Well, maybe you can print one out and show us it, can't you?
Show it. Have to do some research.
That'd be good. Yeah, can you do that for us, George?
Well, Mummy can sort it.
Send it to me and I'll print it.
Jamie can print it.
And I'll show you this end.
Yeah. There you go. That's your homework.
We need to know some details. Listen. Wait, George. Listen, we need to know the details of the first greenhouse, what it was made of, maybe the size and what they grew in it. And we want a picture.
Apart from cucumbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that bit. We don't want that one.
They said the Egyptians had glass, so the Romans did as well.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they had that back then.
Joe is a
Why didn't they put any windows in their pyramids then?
No swimming tonight.
They didn't need any. Right, off you go, Trouble.
Bye.
See you next week with your homework.
Dear Georgie Porgy.
Do you mean see you next week with my garden work?
Garden work, yeah.
I think that's we have to give him a task for the following week, I think, from on.
That was a big one.
That's a good one, isn't it?
When I got sent it, I was like, oh my God, that's a long one.
I like that. Really good.
Good one. A long time ago.
I've been in the allotment.
I know, I saw. And then it rained on you.
And it rained. But do you know how many people said to me, don't worry about the rain, look what's behind you. Did you see the colour that was behind me?
It was amazing.
It was golden. And I was just sitting there moaning about the rain and there was sunset behind me. It was amazing.
Must have been a rainbow somewhere.
Well, I didn't see one, but I didn't even see the colour out there. I just keep looking at it on the story and it's just, it's literally gold, isn't it?
Was it like the Northern Lights? You can only see it when it's in your phone.
Yeah, probably. But that's obviously where the sun goes down. That's the west where that's pointing, and we always get really nice sunsets.
Mm.
As you can see,
lovely setting, isn't it?
It's a long way as well. There's no buildings, and it's quite flat for ages. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes, I was in the allotment. I put my chopped. I didn't do the whole bed because I knew I was restricted to time, so I chopped half of the bed of sweet corn down, snipped them at the surface.
Left the roots.
A couple of bags of plant grow over there just to mulch it on top, and then I put my onions, shallots, and garlic in.
Oh, nice. Very productive.
It's only about 3/4 an hour probably, but yeah, if you get stuck in, you can really do lots, can't you?
Yeah.
If you don't sit and moan about the rain, you can really get loads done.
Spend time creating content.
I know, that's the thing. It takes even long. You think, oh God, I didn't have a picture of that. Just pull it out and put it back in again.
That's what I did today. I forgot to take a before picture of the hedge that I was cutting, and I was like, I'll just post the after anyway.
You always used to forget the before pictures.
I know.
You've been really good at it now. You've been befores and afters for ages now.
Yeah, I've got quite good at it, but I think it was just usually it's when I start something at the start of the day, I'll remember to take a picture. But this one we started like halfway through the day because we were doing something else. So then I just cracked on with it and was like,
Oh, well. You got to keep some of it a bit mysterious.
But yeah, it was raining on me quite a lot today, rather miserable.
Oh, we haven't had a drop today.
No,
It's cold.
It was cold this morning, but it warmed up because of the rain. It just rained from probably 10:30 till 1, and then stopped for an hour and a half, and then threw it down from about 3:30.
No, we've not had a drop.
Joe's made 27 reeves in the last 2 days. That's impressive. I bet your hands are sore.
Wow.
I only took a pick of the first 4.
I'm surprised. Just imagine if we all still had film in the camera. Oh my God.
Yeah. The other 23 don't exist then, Joe, if you haven't taken a picture of them.
No, that's the thing. I've just planted some potatoes. I've mixed some compost from our compost bin in the soil. Will that be enough, or do I need to add any other feeds? No, that'd be good. Compost in the soil will be fine.
And are you in the UK? Because if you're in the UK, you want to be protecting that frosts. You might be somewhere else.
Get them in the greenhouse. Might even need to wrap them a bit as well if you want them to get going.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit late at the minute, but you never know with our crazy weather. What was it the other day? It was about 18 degrees.
Last week it was. I was in a t-shirt at work. Crazy.
Yes. Just haven't got any proper seasons anymore.
Well, I mean, what is it today? The 18th of November to get the first proper frost?
I haven't even had that yet.
Yeah, and it was mild. It wasn't a ground frost. Must have just been an air frost.
Yeah. I bet our guest, maybe he looks forward to a frost or maybe not. I suppose he's got to have them, hasn't he?
Yeah. I guess it's just part and parcel. I mean, having reliable weather is probably something people like that dream of.
Yeah. Oh, God.
When it's unreliable.
Plan things. Let's ask him, shall we?
Yeah. So, tonight's guest is a flower farmer and a food farmer who is trying to take out the middleman and create a farmer shop that can sell British produce straight to the consumer. It is David Wheatley at Petite Peonies. Let's get him in. Good evening.
Hello.
Evening.
Nice to meet you all. I just want to apologise a little while. I've got a bit of a croaky voice. I've been talking far too much because of over the weekend. So I don't normally sound like this, but I thought I'd come on over anyway. And if you don't know me, you won't know any difference anyway.
They are then. That's your normal voice in our book.
That's it.
So did you have a frost? Whereabouts are you in the country?
Yeah, we're like East Anglia, North Cambridgeshire. So we fit right on the peak of Cambridgeshire, Norfolk and Lincolnshire, where they all meet up. No, it was cold, but no, it's no frost yet. They talk of -1 in a couple of days, but the ground's still warm in it, so I don't think it's going to do a lot, to be honest. But yeah, it's been nuts in it. Like still summer in it.
Near enough.
Like Mark said, it was 18 degrees one day last week. Absolutely ridiculous.
I know. And it's like we don't know what we're doing. We planted stuff. Anybody that planted stuff early for the winter, it's just grown too much, and it's like, yeah, it's like we just don't know what's happening, do we? So it's like, you expect it. We're going to get a cold winter one of these days, but the last two have been cold, well, haven't they?
Crazy. And that's, to be honest, that's why I haven't planted my not that I ain't had a lot of time anyway, but my garlic and onions, I never plant them too early because it's so warm, and you just get loads of green growth. And I like it to be nice and short and stubby throughout the winter. And then I find it's better that way.
Yeah. Well, I did try growing some veg this year, but I haven't been very successful. So I'm not calling myself a veg grower yet because I didn't have any irrigation and it didn't rain for 8 months, did it? So
No,
um, I call myself a failure in that respect, but I'll give it another go next year.
you do it.
Some lessons.
I'm sure you don't. So is that what? Because I spoke to you earlier just about a few pointers. You want to live on an acre for a year?
But that was the idea, like in January, and I thought, as because I'm normal, I'm an arable farmer. I grow wheat and sugar beet and beans and oilseed rape. I've got 450 acres of land, but I have got some cut flower peonies. We've got 7 acres of flowers and 30 acres of orchards. So we've got apples, pears, plums, and cherries, and a bit of woodland, a bit of grassland. So I've got a bit of everything. But we used to grow potatoes, but veg. I thought, how hard can it be? So I thought, with my socials kicked off a little bit, and I say things online, and then I've got to do it. If you know, so I thought, I'll give that a go. So it was mainly a test as well to not use any sprayed fertilizers because I'm trying to cut down, but it's a bit scary when you don't use any on the whole farm in one go. So I thought I'll try an acre, see how I get on. But
Yeah.
it wasn't nothing to do with the sprays and fertilizer. There's just no water. So I think you already know this, but if it don't rain, it don't grow, does it?
Right.
Definitely not. And we've always said loads of times that it don't matter how much you water out of a tap or whatever. It's never as good as rain.
No, and I got to, where did I get to April, or I think it was the start of May, and then either everything had been eaten or not grown. So I thought I'm going to need to change this plan. So I had another quarter of an acre in the yard that was my machinery field. So we ripped that up, and I could water that. So we planted another 70 crops in there, and watered it, and you water it every day, and it's still thirsty, isn't it? It's like it just goes down the cracks, and we have got a bit of stuff off it, but nothing like what should have happened, and even the stuff, it didn't even fruit, and like we had courgettes and squashes and stuff, and the plants was there, but nothing flowered, and then I I don't know whether I know what I was doing, but it was a bit late, bit little too late, and it all went a bit wrong.
Mm. It's been a hard year. It really has for being so dry. I think it was March, wasn't it? March all the way through till about middle of August or something silly.
It wasn't even a wet winter though, was it? So
No.
we could have gone there any time. And my land's it's fairly heavy, but it's quite silty as well, so it holds the moisture pretty well. And I thought, it can't be that difficult. But and I think it's people think it's easy growing food as well because it's just gets arrived at the supermarket, it's on their table whenever they feel like it, and it's the farmers that know different, don't they? So
Definitely. And yeah, we all know it's not easy. There's so many things you have to get over to try and grow food. It's definitely not easy. Especially potatoes. If you're a bit of a potato farmer, my God, how much water did they need this year?
yeah, although potatoes is the only thing that grew, so potatoes was all right. I had potatoes and onions, and then I did put a bit of plot of wheat and some. It took me 4 goes to get some beans to like not get eaten, but I've got a few beans, and but I did go on the potatoes and onion diet for like 3 days. A little bit gassy. So yeah, my wife gave me an ultimatum and said, "You got to stop this, as I'm leaving you." So I had to stop.
Oh, God.
But I stopped plenty of potatoes and onions, so I know I can grow them.
Yeah, they are then.
One thing.
Potato and onion soup. Brilliant. So So how do you become a peony farmer then?
Well, peony farmer, all you need is a peony tuber. There's three different types of peonies, but herbaceous peonies is what I grow. And they grow it's a bit like a sweet potato tuber. They come in all different sizes and stuff like that. But if you buy it with like either 2 or 3 or 5 eyes on, plant that in the ground, not too deep. And then you normally got to wait 2 or 3 years before they start flowering. Sometimes I always say 4 to 5 before you break even if you want to do it commercially. But once they get going, they come back every year as long as you keep the weeds, and you might have to water them in the first year at least. Just especially this year, they would have died if they'd not got a bit of water. But once you get them over that, we don't irrigate them at all. So we just got to keep the weeds down a little bit, and then stems grow every year after that. If you're lucky, they're a little bit unpredictable, but they do like it cold, so they don't mind frosts. They can stand it down to -10 easy, no mulching or nothing like that. In fact, they need it. They need it to be cold in order for them to produce a flower. So I quite liked them because they can't grow them in hot countries. So it's got to be below, I think it's 5 degrees Celsius for more than 28 days in the winter, as they won't produce a flower. And so they can be grown in greenhouses, but you got to keep them. You got to get some cold in there, as you just don't get a crop. And I know a couple of growers that grow them in greenhouses. I don't think they had anything on this year because the temperatures weren't that low enough last year.
No.
We hadn't really had a hard frost winter for a little while now, are we? So, and it's been a little bit tricky because they can change when they flower within like a week or 10 days, depending on how cold winter is and the spring is. So, and they normally flower between May and June, although I've got 8 different varieties. So I've got some that are a bit earlier than others. But when it's hot, they usually all come together anyway. And then if you're picking them as a cut flower, I have to pick them up they say marshmallow stage, but I like it a tiny little bit before that, called the first petal lift stage. And then I can transport them and store them if I want to. But if you pick them too tight, they won't open either. So they're a bit of a diva. But once they get going, my best advice for anybody is don't mess them about, because if you move them in the soil, they think they're being moved, and it might take another 3 or 4 years for them to flower.
Wow.
So even if they get a bit weeded up, they're better off than trying to like mess them up a bit or disturb them in any way. And then over a period of years, they grow in size as a clump. And then if you've given them enough room, you get good food stems off one bed then.
Brilliant.
Do you have to support it at all?
Well, I don't, because I cut the flowers off. So but when they're open, they're really heavy. So they can't. Some varieties are better than others. So Sarah Bernard's the most famous one, and that stands up all right. But I've got some of the others, which the blooms are that massive. When you get a bit of wind and rain, they just go on the floor. So if you want to leave them in your garden, you can get peony cages, or even some in string and stuff like that to support. Some people support the lines as well if you've got them in rows. And there's some varieties that tend to grow a little bit too tall or have a big bloom on the top. And if you're leaving them there to open up, then they need supporting in some way. But I grow mine quite close together, so they like self-support each other after a period of time. You do get a bit more disease pressure in there when you've got a whole 7-acre field. So I do have to maybe spray a botrytis blight now and again, but I didn't need to this year because it was that hot and there wasn't no pressure. So it's when it's wet and warm, then I say if you've got a lot all in one area, you can get a bit of blight in there, and it's hard to pick up on it when it's really early, and you cut them and then they'll all go brown. And that's why if you see any in the supermarket that's gone brown, they can't be graded out very well, and then they ain't no good then.
No. So the best time to pick them is when you've got the bud and you've got the first petal or so is just starting to come away.
Yeah, each variety is different because I've got some that burst faster than others. So depending on what your use is, if you just want to bring it in your house, I'd leave them till they're a bit squishy, because then you'll get them before it rains. Because also if they get rain and wind, they bash each other and they can bruise once they're in petal. So but this year we had no rain and we didn't have a lot of wind, so it's ideal. You could leave all them in the garden; they'd all come out and they'll be spectacular. They're always best left on the bed, I think, because if as soon as you interfere with them, don't you? You're trying to, and as a grower, I'm trying to interfere with them, cutting them, and I'm sending them through the post as well, which shouldn't ever be done, should it? Because it's like you can't control what's going to happen. But yeah, I've got a lot of support and I've got a lot of interest for them and that, and people like them. So, and because they're only there for like a 2 week period, so each variety only lasts for 2 weeks cutting, and we have to walk up and down the rows every single day and only pick the ones that are ready. So it's not something that can be mechanized very easy. So it's like I feel I can compete with some of the bigger farmers because there's not a machine. Well, there's robots now they're building, isn't there? They'll probably get one soon, won't they? So they can pick them, but I don't think they can have the same effect as somebody that knows what they're doing. Hopefully, so.
Well, to be honest, didn't we see that robot in, was it Chelsea, Mark, somewhere where it picks the red strawberries?
Oh yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, the robot goes along the lines and just picks the perfect strawberries.
I know.
Ridiculous.
Be long, we'll all be out of a job, won't we?
Crazy. But you say, oh, it's not about posting them. At least they're posted from this country and not from Mexico and Africa and
It's like the way I do it now is because we used to deal with supermarkets and the markets, but they didn't pay nothing for them anyway, and my online presence has got better, but I try and send them. So we like to pre-sell them as well. So if you pre-sell them, well, wait until we know what we got. So I don't like to pre-sell anymore until like we've gone through winter, because winter can mess it up completely if if something drastic happens. And then when I feel a bit, I got me confident and I'm going to get a crop, then if I've pre-sold them beforehand, I can cut them and send them on the day that they're picked. They ain't got to go in a cold store, and they're all right. They're all right for a few days anyway. So we send them all next delivery, and then they're going to be fresher than anything else you're going to get hold of as well. So I feel like we can compete with other people on that basis as well. So, but they do bring a lot of stuff in abroad, and that's what keeps the price down.
yeah. I know, yeah, but still, it's still not good. It'd be better if we could grow more, in the UK, but we couldn't keep up with the demand, I would imagine.
Yeah, and if the weather's really rubbish, like last year was really wet, wasn't it? So it wasn't a very good year for peonies, and I probably had about half as many as what I do normally. And yeah, so we don't know what we're going to get next year, do we? So it's not very reliable, is it?
So, how many stems do you think you pick a year then on a good year?
On a normal year, we do 100 to 1,000 stems, and then we could probably touch 200 on a good year. And I say last year was bad. We probably didn't get to 100, but I'm planting more as well now. So some of my beds are like 25 years old now, so they still produce, but you normally get more stems and they're a bit smaller and maybe not as good, and they're a bit more prone to the weather a little bit more. So although they can last for 50 years or more down, but I do think they probably need splitting every 20 years or something to get the best out of them.
Every 20 years, it's not a hardship, is it?
For another 40, yeah, I think so.
Everybody loves a peony. That's and everybody knows what it is as well. Most people know, oh, that's the peony in the ground, and they love them.
So, and I think if you put peony in the internet, probably my face will come up quite a lot as well. So, either.
Especially if you put a small peony, the petite one will definitely come up.
Yeah, that's why I started. So, petite peonies is because I used to sell. when you sell into supermarkets, they only want the good ones, don't they? So they have all the big ones and the long ones, and all I do is end up with all the little tiny ones. And I thought, I'm going to get rid of these, but small peonies don't sound very good, does it? So I put petty peonies on there, but people want to buy all the good ones still, don't they? So I ended up selling all the good ones to them, and then they get the choice of the small ones once we're finished.
But that's mental because they're now selling wonky veg, isn't they? Carrots and things. They should be able to sell little
Yeah.
peonies as well.
Well, I can. I was like, I put small peonies up for sale when I'm finished and that, and they still just as good as the others. So we normally grade out the little ones and that, and then to save them going on the muck heap, you put them at a good price, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're just small, aren't they? So
I mean, you get some more in the vase.
yeah, you get twice as many in the box.
Yeah, brilliant. Sounds good to me. You said you grow fruit as well, apples and pears and things.
Yep.
Have you had a good year this year, like I think everybody else has said?
Yeah, yeah. Last year was better. So last year was a really good year because the trouble is with my orchards is I've got 22 acres, which is 100 years old, and then 8.5 acres. I've got 250 different varieties of apples, pears, plums, and cherries in that one, and that's only 15 years old. So that's coming into its prime. But I don't use any sprays or fertilizers in there, and this is where I'm like commercially, I've been brought up spraying and putting fertilizer on everything because you can't live without it. But then I took on these orchards, and you can't get anything in there anyway if you wanted to, and it's got quite a good ecosystem. And I thought that all the apples I wouldn't be able to sell them because they got blemishes or leaf spots or a bit of marks on them, and some of them bruise really easy as well because they're like 100 years old varieties, and there's better varieties that will store on your shelf for like a month or 2 months without anything going wrong with it. And I thought I'm never going to be able to sell them. So it was really it was really a bit of a joke last year that I've got 22 acres of orchards, and it was a really good year for apples last year. And what am I going to do with them? So me and my daughter made a TikTok and said, do you pick your own apples, £10 a car, and you can pick as many as you like. And I thought, no, nobody's going to come anyway, and if they do, they're not going to like the fruit because some trees I haven't pruned them for a long while, and you might get like 500 apples on a tree, but they're all really tiny. Or some varieties do quite well and they're really big, but they're too big, or like bruise really easy and don't keep very long. But I went mental, and I thought I'd have to close it down, but luckily enough, it rained torrentially for like 12 hours solid on that day, and I only got 300 people turn up instead of 30,000, I think. Because, but the 300 people that turned up, they loved it, and it's like they. And my daughter said, you're going to run out of apples. And I said, there's 22 acres. They're not going to run out of apples, are they? But I don't think there was a single apple on 8 foot high in the whole orchard. And then that went really well. And then that opened my eyes up about like people. There's a lot of people not bothered about what it looks like, and it's what it tastes like still. And so I've got this other orchard of 250 different varieties in it, and then I started selling them, and that went mental as well. So it's like, and it takes a lot of work because I've only got 2 trees of each tree. I don't know which ones are ready. Some of them don't have any apples on some years, and some of them have loads. You can't choose what variety you want. So I just said, you don't get a choice what you get. I'll send you 2 varieties, 10 of each variety in a box, and I sold them for £1 each. I thought nobody's going to sell them for nobody's going to buy an apple for £1, are they? And then I sold all them within like a day. And then I thought about it this year, and I thought, well, I got them other 22 acres as well this year, but it wasn't as good as crop. But we sold all them this year as well, and it's just been mental. And people like you get comments. They haven't tasted an apple like that before, and it's like most people can't name 4 or 5 different varieties.
No.
And and it's fair enough. It's like, and we have to send them on the day that they're picked as well, because days, especially the earlies, they ain't going to keep very well, and they don't want to be bashed about a lot. But if you can get them the next day, I don't think you're going to find anything else as nearly as good as picking it off the tree.
No.
And it's not an alternative to buy apples all year round. I'm not saying that, but it is like a little niche that seems to be working at the minute. I don't know whether it'll work again next year, but we'll have another go probably.
It's good though, isn't it? Just so people can try some different ones. Because, like you say, everybody knows a Granny Smith, everyone knows a Golden Delicious because they're from the supermarket. But there's so many different apples.
And the worst thing is, though, is that even if they've got trees in their garden or anything, they don't know when they should pick it, or they don't know when it's ready. So I always say apples have got a picking date and an eating date, and they ain't the same all the time. Normally, the early varieties are the same, but we still got. I've told everybody I've run out of apples, so don't say anything. But apples still on the tree now, and they're like cricket balls, so they ain't going to be ready till February or something like that. But I'm saving them for myself because I've still got to live off my land next year.
Ah. So when do you know if an apple's ready to pick them?
Um, well, you can read the literature on it, but that's real difficult on 250 varieties. So the way I do it, I'm not. There'll be better people on here probably that know better than me. They say it's the pip, but you can't open it up and look how brown the pip is to see how ripe.
Right.
So if it's got brown pip, it's ready to go. But you don't want to do that because you lost your apple then, didn't you? So what we normally do is when I tell people that are picking for me, you'll see the trees and there'll be a few dropped on the floor already. So they're already about to fall. So
Yeah.
that's your picking date done. And then we eat them. So it's like we try some, and if it tastes all right, we send them. And if it doesn't, we either have to store them until they're ready to eat, or leave them on the tree a bit longer, and then they sweeten up, and then we send them as well.
Brilliant.
But I don't know whether that's in the textbook or not.
Just like Joe just said on there, it's a twist test, and where you get it and you just gently turn it. Does it?
Upside down normally, so you pick them from upside down. But I've only got like four. Well, we got other varieties of pears, but the pears don't do as well. And I was picking some pears, and they're real slippy. So if you pick pears like you do apples, I'll drop them all on the floor, and you got to grab them a bit firmer.
Ah, right. I see. Mm. You pick don't pears. Pick them a bit harder. They ripen later on.
They're normally harder, and if we got some varieties that go soft a bit, but then they get a bit bruised on your fingertips and that. So I always think it's better to pick the pears. And there's some varieties of apples they do better if you pick them a little bit too soon, because unless you got them at home anyway, and then you can eat them straight away. But if you're trying to sell them, or try and give it some sort of chance. But there are some varieties that are like you probably got to pick them a little bit too soon, and then we put a little bit of information about each variety in the box as well, and then we normally say maybe these ones not quite ready to eat yet, leave it a couple of weeks. But it's different taste preferences as well. Some people like really sharp stuff, and some people like sweet. So normally, mainly apples. A bit sharper at the beginning, and then they go a bit sweeter, but then they can go a bit mushier as well, so you don't get the crisp firmness on some varieties, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. So if you do like pink ladies from the supermarket, I'll carry on buying them.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? So what about juice and cider? Have you ever done that with them all?
Yeah, well, quite a lot of years ago, I can't remember any. We've had this orchard because I rent the farm off the County Council, so I don't own it, and we moved here in the year 2000, and these orchards were neglected and there was run down, and there was a bit of government money to sort them out, so we pruned them and sorted them out, and I thought, got to do something with the apples, so I registered them as organic and paid the certifications and that, and then we started selling juice and cider as well, and I've tried it for like 3 or 4 years, but I couldn't sell them. Couldn't sell the apples for what they're worth, so I pulled out of paying for organics. Although we didn't change what we were doing, we was just doing nothing with them. And then I wasn't very good at selling either, so I wasn't very good at selling the juice. And to be fair, the cider didn't taste very good either. So I ended up with like 10,000 litres of cider, and it was like more like vinegar than the cider. So, yeah, I packed up that for a little while, and then I get bored easy, so I go around and find something else to do for a bit. And I say, I'd lost a bit of faith in the orchards, but then the public seemed to like give it back to me a little bit, because if you start listening to them and they say they want apples that haven't been sprayed and they want something a bit different, then I think, well, I got that, and I'll let you have a taste, and if it works, it works, and if not, I'll go back to try and find something else that works.
There you go.
Consumers.
Definitely. So do you prune every year, like we're all told we should do?
Well, they've not been pruned for a long time again. So we have, because the fruit's got a value to it now, because it costs a lot of money to prune. We've been pruning. We've got one more year of pruning, and then I'll probably leave it a rest. So it depends how big and got away your tree is more than anything. So I'm more of a specialist in orchard restoration now, because I've done quite a few orchards, and I do a lot of tree surgery in the winter as well for other people and other orchards. So if you've got an orchard that ain't been touched for 40 years, that's probably my sort of thing. Although the standard trees that you probably get in your garden, some varieties may be like pruned more than others. So what I would probably say as an easier bet is, if you got tons and tons of growth on it, yeah, you want to be pruning that. No more. The rules are 30%, but if you don't know what you're doing, I'd say only 25% a year. And then you want to concentrate on the uprights, the biggest uprights that are going in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because you'll get more fruit on an upright which is 45 degrees or less than one going straight up. And this is only apples. Pears all grow straight up anyway, so ignore that for pears. But for apples, 25% a year off you can take, and then other than that, you can shorten your branches. But I do like the renewal pruning method, which is you got your framework if it's there. So if you don't know what you've been doing since you planted it, you probably ain't even got a framework. But if it's been pruned before in the past, then you should have 5 to 7 limbs going off in each direction, and that stays the same throughout the whole life of the tree. And there you can get standards and half standards. So half standard is a tree that splits quite low to the ground, or standard trees, you've got a centre leader that keeps going. And most of my trees are all half standards, and then it's easier to pick. So you got your half standard tree with your framework on, and then all you need to do is you get the best fruit on years 1 to 5. So ideally on every branch you want growth of 1 to 5 year growth on all of the limbs, pointing in different directions so they don't all compete with air and light. And then all you have to do is to go and take the year 6 off if you get it to a perfect state. So you can prune every year, but then if you've got a really old variety tree, I would say less is a little bit more, especially if it ain't got a lot of vigor anymore. But I still think the older ones that aren't growing very fast is they like, I'd give it a little bit of a prune on each of your limbs, because that encourages your new growth. And if you don't get any new growth, it will slowly die over a long period of time. They do that, slow down and slow down. I'm talking of like 20 or 30 years. So you ain't got to worry about it if you ain't done it for 2 or 3 years. So if you've got a tree that's if you're pruning it and you're not, every time you prune, it should encourage new growth from that pruning cut. But if you're not getting that, maybe just do some smaller cuts on it, because you've got to tell the tree to grow.
Oh, I see. So is that why when 2 years ago I gave my big old Bramley a good old cutting, and mate, it was like a nice up
Yeah,
and over, and it's lovely. When it's finished, it's lovely. But now there's about 1,000 straight up water shoots up the middle.
that's it. So Bramley is a really vigorous variety. So the other tip that you could have is you want to be pruning. If you want the tree to grow, you do winter pruning. If you don't want the tree to grow, you do summer pruning. But that really needs to be a really vigorous variety, and you're getting hundreds of apples every year, and it just grows like a bush. So you can go more than your 30% on them sort of trees, and they do like it. But if you do a bit of summer pruning, then it won't tell it to grow as much as one that's not.
Right. Somebody said to me, "Oh, if you prune it wrong, you won't be out getting out, or your apples will be less." And I went, "I don't care. I don't need 15 wheelbarrows full of apples."
And then, but the other thing is, if you don't prune it, sometimes the trees go like a bit biannual. You get hundreds of trees that are really small one year, and then the next year you'll get none, and then they'll get loads again. And then, so if you get millions one year, then you want to pick some of the smallest ones off, and then hopefully it will like produce every year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to have a bit of a prune in the winter and get rid of all those water shoots going up in the middle, and just and try and get it in that nice shape again. Yeah,
No,
quite enjoying it. It's nice. Pruning is nice. Not when you've got 22 acres, I suppose, but when you've got one.
we got a couple of trees to go at. It's like it's a little bit repetitive.
Yeah. Bloody hell! Yeah, that's a bit of a task ahead if you think you're going to do all that. Oh.
It's not thinking about it, but yeah, we don't start till January, so I've got another month to start.
I suppose, yeah, if you still got apples on some trees, you can't touch them, can you?
No, I always say leaf fall to bud burst. Best time for pruning. So some varieties are different. If they hang on the leaves a little bit longer, you can prune them, but I always think the energy from the leaves will go back into the tree, and then some years the buds will burst a lot faster. Especially the last few years, it's been 2 weeks early all year in it. So it's like the flowers have been 2 years early, and the fruit's been 2 years. Not 2 years, 2 weeks. Basically, because we had so mild of a winter last year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been crazy. Weather's been absolutely ridiculous. So I'm getting the idea that you don't like to waste nothing, which is brilliant, because nobody likes to waste things and throw stuff away. But let's talk about wasting reject Christmas trees. You don't want to do that either, do you?
Well, I'm nearly going to have to, because I've been trying to sell Christmas trees for 10 years. Took 10 years to grow. Somebody told me they take 6 years to grow when I bought them, and then 10 years later, they go from I think they go from 4 foot to 10 foot in a year. So the first 4 foot takes like 6 years to grow, and then all of a sudden they're too big. So we had 2 acres of Christmas trees last year, and I don't know what I'm going to do with a 10 foot Christmas tree. And the other thing is, I planted them for a 6 foot tree, so they all go in together, and they ain't got no bottoms on. So you cut it down, and it don't even look like a Christmas tree. So I was selling reject Christmas trees for 20 quid the year before, trying to get rid of them. And they're heavy as well, so it's like you got to carry these and deliver them for 20 quid. I was doing that for, and I thought I ain't having that no more. And last year I run out of money quite a lot as well, so I didn't have no money, and we didn't have a lot of jobs. So I got a couple, 3 or 4 people work for me, and we didn't have no tree surgery jobs on either. So I said I'm going to try and sell them Christmas trees. So, and it was like, I think it was either September or October I started. And I thought, who's going to buy them in that? So you got to make a good deal, ain't you? So I done a buy one get one free offer of foliage boxes for wreath making, and we'd done a few boxes the year before, so I knew how many you get, like 4 boxes out of a Christmas tree. And I thought, at a tenner a piece, I can get 40 quid a tree, and I ain't even got to deliver it. Yeah, I can put it in the post. I can do what I like with that. So I didn't even think it was going to work, but when I got an idea, I thought, well, there's no point trying a little bit, is there? So we just like chucked everything at it, and then you get a bit of momentum on anybody on social media. You want to like just put everything on everything and get loads of hate. So I get sometimes comments of people saying, "Oh, why don't you just go away? I can't get rid of you." And it's like, and I say, well, just commenting on this, I'm going to be in your feeds even more, you know. So,
Yes.
so but my plan was to sell as many foliage boxes as possible and then sell my reject trees. But before like November, I'd sold, well, I didn't know how many I'd got either. So I had to take it offline because I'd sold so many. And the good thing about that is with pre-sales is I've sold them before I've even cut them down. So, which is good because I've got the money and I can pay the staff and then we can do the work. But then I don't actually know how many boxes I got because we got to get them all back and cut them all up. So I had to take it off the website. And then while I was doing that, more people were trying to buy. And then once we got caught up a bit, we'd sold half of them and I got loads more. And then it turned into more of a game. So it's like, I used to say, is like, I've got another 150 boxes going online at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then while I was doing this, I'd be on my phone and my phone would be going ping, 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 ping. And I was selling so many. And then after like 2 minutes, I'd sold them all. And then everybody's giving me some more hate saying, I need some boxes. And then so before December come, I'd sold the whole field. And then I said, I went down there and I said, I'm no longer a Christmas tree grower. So thank you very much. And then I had December that I didn't have nothing to do because I was planning on selling Christmas trees, and they'd gone.
And you cut even the good ones up, just put in boxes.
I cut anything. We'd have them all, so it's like we didn't have a choice, and we just got everybody got a little bit of handsaw with secateurs and zip tapes, but and Royal Mail got a little bit. We had 4 lorries a day in at some point, and it's like I don't know what I was doing, but 2 weeks, that's all it was.
Wow, that must have been a manic 2 weeks.
The thing is, people's messaging me now saying, "Oh, we want some more Christmas trees this year," but they don't know it takes 10 years to grow. So it's like, even if I planted them now, they ain't going to be ready. But I thought that's probably me done with Christmas trees now. So I'll try and find something a bit easier to grow.
I just seen in there, Jo said she's bought 2 Christmas tree bottoms off her local supplier for some refoliage.
Yeah, it's mad. So I'm helping other growers now. So I've got a list of people on my website that they should be able to help you. So I'm trying to shorten the link up between the farmers or the growers, direct to the consumer. And it's like, it's game. There's a market for it because I've proven it. And if somebody and other people can charge more money than me because I was selling them cheap because I just wanted to clear the field. I thought if I don't clear them this year, they're going to be 15 foot next year. And they ain't got to compete with my prices no more because I'm not in the game anymore, am I?
So what you got planned for that Christmas tree field then, if you're not putting them back in?
Well, at the moment, I've only got 2 pigs in there. So they're quite enjoying themselves in there. There's a couple of Christmas trees left in there, but that's for a bit of shade. And there's roots everywhere. So it's like, we might have a few more next year, but I'm a bit careful with livestock because we have to go down there twice a day to feed them, and it's a lot of work in it for not a lot. But we'll see how these pigs go, and might get a few more. But
yeah. But so by the time you want to use that field, maybe in a couple of years, will it be all right just to plant in, or will you still have the stumps?
I don't know. I'm hoping they'll rot away because they don't grow back again. So it'll take a little bit to get off and that, and it might want stirring up a little bit. So if we get a few pigs in there rooting them all out, I think they'll all, 2 years time will be about ready to go.
Sounds good. Brilliant. So I've heard of loads and loads of farm shops all over the country, but farmers' shops, what's the difference?
Well, I made that up, didn't I? So it's like I got a following now. So I don't know, we've got 400,000 followers on all of my channels put together.
Wow.
And they tell me what they want all the time. And I'm like, I've had this idea for a few years, whereas a lot of people's fed up with the supermarkets, but there's no other alternative. And the other alternative there is they can go to the farm shop, but then they pay ridiculous amounts of money for stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it might even not even, it's not even a farm, is it? It's like called a farm shop. So
Half of it's bought in anyway.
exactly. And so it was only probably a week ago. And I did try this last year and it never worked. I brought out a few posts and they went a bit viral, but I don't know where I probably wasn't in the right place for it anyway last year. But I thought I'll give it another go this year. I'm slowing down from my other stuff. And I thought the farmers don't get paid nothing. So I'm talking to all the farmers. It's all doom and gloom everywhere. They're just miserable people, aren't they? Because they don't get paid money for their produce and they got no control on the price. Whereas I've been selling some of my stuff, so my flowers and the apples and the Christmas trees for decent money, direct to the consumer. And we don't get many complaints. We might get a few, and I'll give them a refund. But on the whole, people are generally supportive and want to pay the farmer more money. But the farmer don't get no more money. So I was talking to one of my mates, and he said he can't sell his potatoes at all this year. They're decent stuff, but they ain't worth nothing, and he can't get a single order. But he's run out of money. What else can you do? So I said, I'll try and sell them for him. So he said he'd be happy with £250 a tonne this year. So I'll put them online for, well, not online, but you can come and collect them for 25p a kilo. I don't want no money for it myself. And people can come. All I want is a crate. They bring their own bags. They fill it up. I'll pay him the money. And so that went all right. And then I've got some, well, we got eggs as well now, and we got onions. We just picked some carrots and parsnips up. We got some cabbages, cauliflowers. We've got broccoli now, leeks, beetroots, Savoy cabbages. We got kale. It's growing already, and I've made a veg box. Whereas, and loads of my online people want to pay to have them delivered, whereas it costs so much money for me to deliver them. I thought it's not really worth it. That I've got veg boxes up on my website now for £30 each, and the produce isn't worth like 12 or 15 quid. But I didn't think anybody would do it. But we put another 200 boxes up there today, and they're probably not sold out yet. But that was only like an hour ago.
Wow.
I don't know where this is going to go, but every farmer I'm talking to is they send it to market. They can't even sell it, and if they do sell it, they're getting like half as much as what they need for it. And with fresh produce, you can't just say, "Oh, I won't sell it today," because you ain't got a choice. It's going to go off, isn't it? So
Sell it.
this is where I think the system's all wrong, because all the buyers are like, they're just ganging up on it, all the farmers, to get as low a price as possible, and the farmer ain't got a choice. He either takes low money or no money. And so it's like, I'm trying to, like, and I don't think I'm the right person to do it, but if I'm the only person to do it, it seems to be going a little bit viral.
Yeah.
He's helping me sell some stuff and paying some farmers a bit more money than what they would have done originally. But I'm hoping it'll inspire a few other farmers, because if you don't live near me, you ain't getting it cheaper. But and there's produce all around the whole of all around the whole world, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's not getting paid enough to the farmer. And if the farmer gets paid more money, then my main reason is if you can get something fresher, cheaper, better service on the day that it's nearly been picked. All this stuff was picked today or yesterday, the fresh stuff, and you can come tomorrow. It ain't gonna be no fresher than that, is it? For like nearly half or less than what you can get it for in the supermarket. And at the moment, there's not a lot. I'm doing it for not a lot of money, which I can't be doing that for a long period of time. But in order to get it going, and the other thing is, I think people don't mind paying a little bit more if they know where the money's going as well. So rather than being controlled by bigger corporate companies that take like a 50 or 100% cut out of it for just moving it, then see where it goes.
I think it's been in the press so much about farmers not getting no money for anything. People are now cottoning on, aren't they? That's why.
Well, we do get a little hate for just being miserable all the time, but it's usually a reason for it. And the same with stuff. It's just that everything's particularly rubbish this year, and I don't know why. I think the main reason is it ain't rained. So normally what happens is if we have a normal year, we grow a lot of stuff and we can sell it for not a lot of money, and we'll still be all right because we've got a lot of it. But
Yeah.
this year, if we've got half a crop and we don't sell it for a lot of money, that's where it all goes wrong, and we'll all be out of business if we're not careful.
It's all fine margins, isn't it?
It's right, yeah. And you only need one thing to go wrong, and that's all your profit gone. And so where else would you like if I said to you, here's £100,000, yeah, you spend all year growing crops that's going to cost you £100,000 to grow, but you don't know what you're going to get for it. You might get 50, you might get 100, you might, if you're lucky, you'll get 20% return or something like that on a good year. And if one thing goes wrong, you could get nothing.
Yeah.
And then the next year you got to do that again.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's weird because it's not quite the same, but the whole hay situation this year, because we've got horses, and generally, this time of year we'd be buying the big 4-foot round bales, about 35 quid. 85 quid we got quoted the other day.
Yeah. And you think the farmer's making loads of money though, because it's like we got hay, and it's like it costs you so much to make it in the first place.
Oh dear, can't hear you.
Sounds gone.
Can't hear you.
What's gone on here? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know what's gone on there. Yeah, so we got a 7-acre hay field we make hay off, and normally you get 70 brown bales of hay off it. We got 29 bales this year.
Yeah.
Although it's like, even if I charged 3 times as much money for them 29 bales, it don't cover the cost of doing the work or paying the rent, because the rent takes it all up. And so on a year where you're only getting half as much, it don't matter about the price because it's not going to make up the difference.
No. We have to buy it because we've got the animals that need to eat it.
I know, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that's no rain. And then I get a bit of comments sometimes that, well, you shouldn't be farming if you're not very good. It's like, I'm not very good at making it rain some days, so I'll admit to that.
Ridiculous, absolutely crazy. on the subject of not making any money of it, the next thing I'm going to say about is your sugar beet harvests. No good.
I've not harvested it yet, so there's reports around here. The yields are not as bad as what we are anticipating, but it's November now, and I've got some heavy land, so I'm a little bit worried about getting the next year's crop in, because what happens with sugar beet is it's coming wet now, and if you harvest it wet, it just knackers the whole field up for a whole year, and then I don't get next year's crop. So even if I did make any money out of sugar beet this year, I'd make no money next year because the failed wheat crop. But that's the same principle. Is this time last year we have to sign up the contracts for the following year, and last year I didn't want to grow sugar beet, but the prices of everything else are really rubbish. So I did, because it's the best option there is on paper. Yeah. But I didn't realise that we weren't going to get any rain this year, because you don't know, do you? And then it just stood there for like ever, not growing. And I do like sugar beet because even when it don't rain, it don't die normally, and it just sits there and just is really small. Whereas the alternative for not growing sugar beet is to grow like beans, which will get eaten and not grow, and then you'll get nothing. Rape, will get eaten, and then you'll get nothing. And barley, which will grow, but then might not finish this year, and there will be nothing. So I don't think this through very well, because I told people, I'm not going to grow sugar beet next year, which I've got to not grow sugar beet now, but I don't know what else to grow.
Yeah.
So I've got like 100 acres, but we've planted some rape already, and the plan is to grow some beans, but I don't want to put it all in one basket. So still got a 35-acre field. I don't know what I'm going to grow on next year, and even to the point of like, it might be better for me not to grow anything, because I'll lose less money by growing nothing than spending a load of money and trying to grow something, especially after this year. Because if it's we had rain the year before, and now we've had no rain. So what's next year? It might be like snow all next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what can we grow with snow? Not a lot, is it?
Not really. So how does it work then? If you say, right, I want to, like Joe just said, want to grow field peas, do you have to get that contract before you sow them, so you know you can sell them, or once they're ready, do you then try and sell them?
No. So sugar beet's the only thing you need a contract for. Well, there's other things, but there's so many ways that you can sell stuff now. It's just, in my opinion, it's got ridiculous. So I've got to grow peas, beans, or anything like that, but you'll have to sell them. Well, you don't have to, but you can sell them forward. You can sell anything at any time of year. I can sell wheat today for 5 years' time if I want to.
Right.
It's just like going up to the bookies and gambling, because you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. I don't even know how much it's going to cost to grow in 5 years' time, but somebody's worked it out on what price they'll give me for a futures market. So you can sell it on a futures market, but it's got to make the grade. It's got to be a certain spec, which is the same with everything. If it don't make the spec, they can reject it, or they just put deductions off it. But sometimes you can sell it different. You can sell a tonnage of a crop, or you can sell an acre of a crop. So selling an acre, you don't know how many tons you're going to get off it, and then that secures you if it's a really bad year, because you will only sell the acres off, or the tons off that acre. But if you sell, say, if I sell 100 tons of wheat today, I have to deliver 100 tons of wheat. So if you get a really bad crop and I only have 50 tons of wheat, I have to buy in 50 tons of wheat in order to make my contract.
Oh my God.
So in a really bad year, this happened the other year, and this is why farmers are a little bit scared to like sell too much forward, because a lot of people got caught out. There were some people that were so low with their yield. If you got a year like this year that didn't do very well, they end, and what happens on a short year is the price goes up, so they have to buy wheat in for more money than what they sold their other stuff for, and they end up losing the whole crop and having to pay the money as well at the same time.
God. It's just, everything's a gamble, isn't it? Everything.
Whereas even I always think the way it used to be when I was growing up is most of it, people did used to sell forward, but not as much. But everything's so much money now, so you can't really afford to wait until you see what you got. And then if it's a bumper year, the price crashes out because everybody's trying to sell it on the same day.
Yeah.
And then, but in a supply and demand market, usually what happens is if everybody has supply and demand, you'd see what you got. If everybody's up, then they'd get paid less, which would still be all right because they got more stuff. And the vice versa, if they've got less, the price would go up. But because it costs so much money to farm now, people can't afford to do that. So they have to set into these contracts. And I do have a little bit of an issue. Sometimes the paper isn't worth what it's written on some of these contracts, because it is fresh produce. And it's like you can always find something wrong with it. And from my experiences when we used to grow potatoes is, if you've got well, there's no such thing as a perfect sample, but if you've got a very good sample of potatoes and you sold them for more money than what the open market is, you can find something wrong with them potatoes. But if you sold them and the market's less than what you paid for them, or more than what you've sold them for already, they'll take really, really rubbish stuff because it's cheaper, and then and there's not a right thing to do anymore because it's all about money.
So the buyers are crooked as well, then.
I'm not saying that at all.
Oh God!
So don't quote me on that, but I do
Yeah.
fall out with a little bit of well, I've not fell out with British Sugar or any of the other companies, but I may post about stuff and then not get involved with the comments.
Oh, let it go.
But it's nothing to do with me. It's not. It must be it's AI or something like that. It's
Of
like,
course it is. Yeah. So let's get rid of all the glumness. I need you to tell us about the fittest farmer competition.
well, I don't like bringing that up a lot
Come on, tell us.
because I made that. Well, I say things before I speak sometimes. So so what was going on at the time is because I haven't grown a lot of food to live off next year. I went on the beans, wheat, and seed rape diet, which I've been on that for I'm off it now, but I was on that for 6 weeks.
It was onions and potatoes earlier.
I know I didn't like that one. So, but from onions and potatoes, all going to go off by January. I could store them a little bit, but what am I going to live on in January, February, March until I can grow something else? And I ain't got no greenhouses or nothing, so I could live off beans, wheat, and oilseed rape because I can store that. Yeah, if I can live off that for 6 weeks, I can last 3 months next year, and I'll still be all right. So everybody's told me it's not a very good diet, but I did feel all right. I felt all right on it, and I was expecting it to be like potatoes and onions, where I'll do a couple of days and thinking I feel a bit dizzy or something. But I felt good. To the point of I think I'll start working out, and then it was at the time was like they held like British fittest farmers like Jeremy Clarkson's farm in it. I thought I could do that, can I? And it's like I was 105 kilos at the time. I've lost 12 kilos. So, and I did get myself a nutritionist because I was a little bit worried about telling people what I'm doing in case they like do it as well. And he ain't got that much of a problem with it. The only problem is there's not enough protein in that in order to like grow enough muscle to try and I don't want to win it. I just want to qualify for it. So well, it's still not going to happen. I don't know, but I've got myself a marine PT trainer as well, and he thinks I could do it, but he's a bit nuts, and and it's hard work. So I've upped my protein a little bit now, and I'm still training for it. But I'm thinking, and the other thing is, while everything's doom and gloom, I've been in depression before, and I went running, and that was like a bit of an escape for me a little bit. And if you can control what you're putting in your body and what exercise you do in it, don't matter how rubbish everything is around you, I felt all right. Yeah. So things, it's not as tricky as it was, but I've been controlling what's been put in my body, mainly not sugar and too much alcohol. I'm still having a little bit, but and then I thought if I'm going to do it, I might as well have a go. And I've got a year to train for it. So I've kept up with it for we are probably only like 6 weeks in or a bit more on my nutrition. And I'm thinking if anybody's out there that's a farmer, you better be watching out because you got some competition next year, ain't they?
Brilliant. Can't wait to watch your progress on that.
Well, and then the other thing is like once I've said it, I've got to do it now, ain't I? Because
there's only a few people you've said it to.
Yeah, I know. They're not going to say nothing. But then everywhere I go now, I'll go out for a meal somewhere, and they're taking pictures of me, and they say, "Where's your beans and wheat then?" Well, I'm starting that again in January, so we'll see what happens. Although I've got enough now that celebrities on the telly, I think some other people they should get on it because it's like maybe not for a long period of time, but if you watch I can't grow rice, but I can grow wheat and beans.
Yeah.
You got to soak it overnight and then cook it. Cook the hell out of it, probably for 2 hours. Boil it. Yeah. And the beans are tricky. They are like hard work, and then
Yeah.
you know what it feels like to be on the telly.
Brilliant. But then you can put a nice little drizzle of some rapeseed oil over it, make it all taste better.
That's yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So that's not quite the end, David. Mark normally has a bit of a lightning round of questions
Oh dear.
before we say bye.
Yeah, go on then.
Just to finish up. Okay, so the first one is, in the summer, are you a cuppa in the morning sun or a cold drink as the sun goes down?
I don't drink hot drinks, so
Oh.
I only drink cold drinks, and I'm only on water at the moment, apart from the odd beer. But don't tell anybody. So yeah,
Cold drink in the morning.
cold
Or a cold
drinking. Yeah, cold drink.
Cold drink, wow. Next one's going to be interesting. Flowers or edibles?
Oh, what about edible flowers?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, I'd say flowers because I'm not very good at growing edibles yet.
Yeah.
But that might change. I'll put a yet on it.
Yet. Next one, beach or forest?
I like the trees. Yeah, go have a bit of green.
Nice
Yeah.
and healing.
I can stay on the beach for like 10 seconds. That's about it, I think.
Get me in a forest. What's your go-to emoji in a text message?
Probably I'm a bit old school with the thumbs up in her because it's easy, isn't it?
Brilliant. Good end to a conversation. If you could only have one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh,
Beans.
no, I won't like that. But it depends what diet I'm on. But if I'm not on any diet, I could live off flapjack. That is like,
Yeah, it's a good one.
I could do that.
Yeah.
You probably could live off flapjack forever, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, you get a bit of honey in there, and a bit of oats. Yeah,
Lovely.
but raisins is. I'm a sucker for raisins as well.
Nice. You need to get some bees then. You could make your own.
Yeah, well, we got bees, but they live in the trees, so it's a bit tricky getting the honey out.
Finish the sentence. My perfect day would be.
All I do is work. I don't know anything different in a minute.
So if you weren't working, what would you love to do if you didn't have to work?
When I'm not working, I'm either eating or sleeping. So,
I
quite like that. Yeah, I quite like that as well.
Yeah, but you'll be veg grown soon in your acre.
So that's it, isn't it? That's what's not to love, eh?
Exactly.
Every day's a holiday.
You love your job. Next one. What is today's favourite plant?
Today's favourite plant is, I've got some broccoli today, so it looks amazing out there. So I've been wanting, I put on my post the other day, I wanted some carrots and broccoli, and I got both of them. So thank you to all the farmers getting involved. Yeah, if I want something, I'll send messages out and they just let me know and I'll go and pick it up.
Brilliant. Lovely broccoli. Favourite season?
I do like the spring because they're in the weeds. It's really clean, and then when the green starts coming through, and there's no better time, I think.
That's when it all starts, and hopefully it's going to be a good year.
Everything's fresh, and there's hope still in the air.
Yeah.
It's always spring or autumn, isn't it, Mark? Very rarely winter or summer.
I think we've had one person say winter.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing it. If you could make one thing disappear from your, I won't say garden because you don't really garden, but your farm, what would it be?
One thing, not really.
He's made the Christmas tree disappear.
Yeah, I've done that already. What else do I want to get rid of? What don't I like? My worst job on the whole farm is cutting strings off a muck spreader.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst thing in the whole world. So if everybody took all the strings out of all the bales that go through all the muck, then it would save.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So when you get all the strings around the straw and the hay and everything goes into the pens and that, there's always some that get missed, and then you spread the muck on the land, and that's the worst job you got to do. And it's normally raining at the same time, and you got to clean it up before you take the spreader back. That's not nice.
No. Smelly work.
Yeah.
Next one. What's your favourite weed?
Favorite weed? Weeds we got. So they reckon fat hen is like edible, but I've not tried it yet. So I can grow a lot of fat hen. So if I can find some weeds that I can grow, I think I'll be good at that.
Mm.
So if I can get a market for fat hen, and it's a bit like, is it quinoa? I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it? It's from Central.
Quinoa.
But I've read about it as somebody said it's got some toxins in. So I'd be careful what people tell me, because it's like I don't know what to believe on something. So I've not started selling it too much yet. But a lot of people's told me you can eat it on the leaves as well. So
Yeah, amaranth is the
Very similar, isn't it? That's a grain, yeah.
yeah.
Brilliant. That's all of them. Thanks very much for your time.
That's
Brilliant.
no problem. Thank you for having me on.
Really enjoyed that. I reckon next year me and Mark will come and visit the farm. We're both I'm Norfolk and he's Lincolnshire, so we'll be able to come see you.
Yeah, no problem. If you come on a training day, I'll get you in shape as well. There you are.
I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
We can get you some beans and rice.
Brilliant, yeah.
I'll send you some if you want. You can have a go.
Yeah.
We'll do it on a live.
That's it. It's not going to be pretty. It takes an hour to get a few spoonfuls down you. Took me an hour per meal. I tell you, it's hard work.
I see him on Celebrity last night. Oh, they just couldn't do it, could they?
No, I know what they feel like, and people look at it and thinking, what are they moaning at? It's like, that can't be that bad. But when that's all you've had, but it does get better. The first 3 days are the worst. And then after that, I did start putting stock cubes in and that. But then after that, I can eat all day long without it now. Easy.
Wow. Brilliant. I bet when you have something with a bit of flavour on, it's amazing.
Yeah, it does taste a lot better. Apples taste a lot better after that.
Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, thanks ever so much, mate. That's been fantastic. Really, really, really good.
No, it's really nice to meet you too. It's brilliant.
Excellent. Take care, mate. See you later.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye. What a character.
Amazing. I said about him last week when we were talking. Who was our guest last week? Oh, it was us, wasn't it? We just talked last week.
Yeah.
And it was him that I was referring to when I was talking about the farming stuff, because it's nice to have an insight of somebody actually sort of explaining it, because you just don't know, do you?
You hear bits and bobs on the news and things, but you don't get in depth, do you?
No, you can't hear it from the horse's mouth, and you hear farmers get raw deals and this and that, but you don't understand any of it, because
the thing is, yeah, because they say they get raw deals and whatever, then you see one driving around in his whatever car and going doing his shooting and things, and you think, oh, actually, is he really? But maybe they're just the minority.
Well, that's the thing. You get rich landowners and people that have got massive farms, and then then you get small time people. I mean, how many acres did he say he had? It's not that small, is it?
100, yeah, I think it was 100. But but in farm side, it is really, isn't it? Because you get
thousands of acres,
20,000 acres, and God knows what. Yeah,
it's incredible. I know he's I don't know whether he's friend with him, but he's met him. One of our previous guests, Greg.
Yeah.
I bet they can learn quite a lot from each other.
I like Greg. I watch Greg's stories every day. I think it's brilliant.
I love, Greg's brilliant.
Yeah, really, really good.
Another farmer trying to do things differently. Yeah. And again, he's on a rented farm as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
So both of them are on rented farms. They don't own it.
Yeah.
And then you've got all this stuff about inheritance tax with farmers now as well. So farmers, I mean, I saw on the comments somebody said, I can't afford to die because my kids will be knackered if I die.
Yeah.
I'll have to pay all this tax.
And they have to pay it. Well, they do, but it's not like they have time. I think it's 6 months they have to pay it, so they end up selling fields and God knows what to do it.
Which is obviously what it's all about, to sell
Mm.
the land off and end up with 3 people owning the whole country.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
James
Joe
Dyson.
said he's got 450 acres. It's not in farm world. It's not massive.
No, not big at all.
Do a show on inheritance tax. Oh my goodness. Don't know if I could get my wife to do that. She's an accountant. She knows all about that now. She does loads of farm accounts.
It's scary though, isn't it? Like you just, when you employed at a job, I know every month at the same day I'm going to have a load of money come into my account.
Yeah.
Although I struggle for money, I still know every month that money is going to come in.
You can plan things and do whatever you need to. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
What's the weather going to do this year? Am I going to get enough money for what I've spent a year growing?
Mm. Yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed that. Really did.
Brilliant.
Can I look forward to watching his firstly his I want to see his acre next year, see if he can survive off an acre.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to if you do it properly. You should. I could survive off that if I plan properly meals and things while I go outside. I would imagine.
It's learning to eat seasonally,
Yeah,
and be able to store for the months when you're not pulling stuff out of the ground.
Yeah, and grow successionally, so you're just not all there at the same time. So it goes. It can be done. Obviously, it can because people do it.
Well, I mean, people have done it for thousands of years.
Yeah,
we all used to live off the land.
Yeah,
we've forgotten how to do it.
Yeah, nobody really does it now.
And it doesn't look like what we eat now. You've got to discover different things to eat at different times of year.
Yeah.
But there's not out there.
Really good. Enjoyed that one.
Right, we'll see you all next week.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it too. I'm sure you did.
Yep, lots of people saying very good.
Favourite
one yet.
Yeah, it was a very good one. Yeah. Right. Good night, Mark. See you later.
Everyone.
See everybody. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.